What is up, everyone? So I am coming at you from the trunk of my car. But truthfully, I am actually here out in Exeter, sort of down the road from the last video, though a little bit farther away than, say, Hell's Gates was. I'm here at the resting place of Sarah Tillinghast, who is one of Rhode Island's vampires. So it's actually just smack dab in the middle of a residential area. It's actually, first of all, it's right next to the road. So, I mean, I'm maybe 20 feet away, maybe less. But it is also pretty much right next to someone's backyard. I mean, someone could just walk out of their backyard and then just walk through this tiny little plot. I am going to have to keep the camera angled a certain way, so if you're kind of like, why is it always just pointing this way? It's because I don't want to get somebody's house in the shot. Sarah Tillinghast is an interesting one. I've wanted to actually come here for a while now. I thought I had found her previously at another Tillinghast family burial site, but that was just family, actually. That wasn't Sarah. She was not a vampire. About 100 years before Mercy Brown, she had tuberculosis, and pretty much the same thing happened with her family as it happened with Mercy's family. Sarah was about, it's usually, from what I've gathered, places her between 19 and 22 years old. What I've been able to find on Sarah, she's actually quite the interesting person. So she would actually go to cemeteries, kind of like I do. Although, unlike trying to speak with the dead, she would actually just go and read poetry. She would just hang out in cemeteries reading poetry, allegedly. And so, one day, she came back home, not really feeling too well. And then she would slowly start to develop the symptoms of tuberculosis, or again, in those days, as it was known as consumption. One day, she, came home from reading poetry in a cemetery like she used to, again, complaining about not feeling well. She would develop tuberculosis, and then eventually she would pass. This would then move on to her brother and other members of her family, even her mother. And each time, her siblings would pass, complaining about a pressure on their chest, and they would say that Sarah was visiting them in the night. And so, building into that, pretty much the same story as with Mercy. She was coming back to feed on her family until her father and a farmhand came out here, dug up Sarah, and Sarah was perfectly preserved. I mean, she looked no different than the day that she had just died. She looked like she had fresh blood in her. She looked like she was still alive. So they cut out her heart, and when they did, she was gushing fresh blood, allegedly, according to the story. And so they burned it, and then after burning the heart and reburying her, her mother would actually survive the sickness, and then there was no other reports of Sarah coming to visit people, no more tuberculosis cases. It all just cleared up. So that sort of built into the whole Sarah as a vampire thing. Now, obviously, we know today, based on just how things were, how tuberculosis affects the body, how, different kinds of, burials and conditions affect a body. Obviously, that would affect the appearance of said body. Now, with Sarah, it's a little bit different than Mercy, because Mercy was just kind of kept in the cold, which would explain her condition. Sarah was buried for 18 months. So her body was still at that point 18 months later. That's the really interesting part, for me anyway, is just how perfect her body was when she was dug up again for all of this, for the heart gouging. We're gonna go check it out. We're gonna go try and talk with her. Hopefully the neighbors don't get, too ornery. Again, not really, it's not their property, but I can understand if they're like, hey, you got a camera, don't point it at my property. So hopefully we can get something with Sarah, and then we'll get going. So this will just be a quick video. If you guys like it, if you guys, if I'm doing a good job, like, share it, subscribe. It's free, and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. So I'll see you in the cemetery. Once again, this is a small plot. It is a really, really small plot. Like, really just, I think, probably immediate family. And like I said, a lot of these headstones are nubs, and I can't really get the best angle on it, just because, again, there is, in fact, a house not even 100 feet away from here. Give it up. I can't give it up. I love this. I love speaking with you guys. So, Sarah, are you here? About Sarah Tillinghast? Yeah. Hi, Sarah. So it's a pleasure to meet you and finally speak with you. I don't want. Well, I don't plan on being here long. I just want to, like I said, kind of want to just clear things up. Obviously, I know you're not a vampire. You're just a girl who is sick. I just kind of want to help, again, continue teaching the lessons from other places that I've gone to of similar fates as yours, that it's kind of dangerous to just assume that it's something supernatural when someone's just sick. Did they mess up? Is that what you're saying? Is that they did? Condition, yes. Yes, you had kind of a condition. It's tuberculosis, consumption. Can I learn about the woman that was Sarah Tillinghast? Lame. Just funny. Can I get to know you, Sarah? They're back. Is that you're dead or we're dead? Yes. It was an either or. You can use my energy, you can use the energy of my devices that I have out right now, if you need help communicating. That was just another get out. You have to. Why do I have to? I'm sorry I'm being so belligerent, guys. Sarah, I'm here to talk with you, and I'm not too afraid. I'm also crouched down, guys. Aww. Sarah, you don't have to use the envoy if it's too difficult. I know the timing might be rough on that. I am. Do you prefer the envoy? Do you prefer that little black box? The one not in my hand? It's got a double no on the envoy. I don't know if you guys can see it from there. I wish I could bring it in closer, but I'm kind of holding something else. Although I suppose I could probably use the wrist strap. So yeah, Sarah, I heard you used to like reading poetry in cemeteries. Is that true? Could you give me a clear yes or no on this box right here? Sounded like I loved it. Another no. It's actually starting to rain too, guys. So, okay, before I'll wrap this up, but Sarah, would you allow me to leave something for you, a little offering? I just got yes on the envoy. Can I hear you say yes, please? Why is there suddenly so much traffic? Sarah, could you tell me yes on the spirit box in my hand? Yes, really. She's a fun one. She's telling me no on the envoy. Like, Well, that about wraps it up here today. In a few days from now, filming this, by the time this goes up, I'll have already gone. But I will be going to Gettysburg, and I will be going to Pennhurst Asylum on the way back. So that'll be fun. I might take a week off just to really work on some of those videos, just to put a little bit more time and thought into it. If you liked it, go ahead, like, favorite, share, subscribe, hit the bell because that is a thing. It lets you know when I post. And until next time, y'all, see ya.